Russia today, it's not advisable to talk a lot about politics.
What you see can be quite shocking. If you guys got names like junior, senior, the second, things can be a little complicated.
Sometimes I really want to be stopped by police. So, do you feel safe?
Even to this day, I feel more safe walking around in Moscow by myself than I do anywhere in New York City. Especially Russians, because Russians, like a lot of Americans, are just like, we used to spend about 5,000 rubles, which is roughly, what, about $75, $80?
Now, yeah.
Now we spend twice as much. That's all I gotta say about that.
Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Ducanralf. In this video today, I'm introducing you to an American by name.
What's up guys, I'm Steve. How you doing?
So Steve is an American who has lived here in Russia for almost a decade, Steve?
Almost a decade.
Almost a decade.
Yeah.
And Steve has a massive experience living in Russia, and he would like to give you guys his opinion as an American living here in Russia. So Steve,
what do you need to know before you come to Russia? Sanctions edition.
Yeah.
Ralph, so number one, you should know some Russian.
Yeah.
Even if it's just like, you know, a Russian for Dummies book, I highly recommend that you learn some words, some phrases. It's going to open up so many doors. Honestly, really, people will be so much more warmed up to you when you just say "Здравствуйте," or you say something like, you know, "Вы очень красивы." You know, so I said hello, or you're very beautiful, or something like this. People just open up their doors and their lives to you. So learn Russian, number one.
So learning Russian is quite a basic, but very important, because the Russians are very inclusive people when you try to show some effort in learning their languages. I guess most nationalities would be the same. So talking about life here in Russia under sanctions, Steve, what has changed in Russia since the sanctions came in? Not finance, not but just socially, what has changed a lot? What advice can you give somebody from here, Russia?
So socially, okay, one of the biggest things I've seen is that, for example, malls, right? So malls used to really be like the central meeting point, especially for like teenagers and like young adults, 20s. But now, because a lot of stores have closed, you know, they've moved this kind of meeting spot to outdoors, to parks and other locations. Yeah.
Talking about malls, we used to have something in the mall called McDonald's, which all of you know it's closed now, but Russians do have a new McDonald's. I have a video about it on the channel, you can check that out. Tasty, and that's it. Did you try it?
Yeah, I did actually.
Was it tasty?
You know, the burgers were still the same. I think they source the meat actually from Russian suppliers.
Yeah.
But yeah, they the thing that actually, here's a little side tip: don't go for the like kind of McFlurries or any of the ice cream products. It's just not the same taste. If you're expecting the McDonald's taste from the ice cream, it's not going to happen. They've run out, and I don't think they can get any more. So that's that. The French fries are still the same. The nuggets are still the same. The hamburgers are still the same. Just a different uniform.
Yeah, guys, as I said, a lot of change in the society, but in this video we just give you guys 5 of them. So we have 3 more things to show what has changed there. In terms of social life here, I think the budgeting has increased. Most people are very price sensitive. Have you realized that?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, my wife and I, we regularly go to an outside market to do our shopping for fruits, vegetables, meat, fish, and just to give you an idea of numbers, concrete numbers, we used to spend about 5,000 rubles, which is roughly, what, about $75, $80?
Now, yeah. 80.
And now we spend twice as much. So we spend almost 10,000 for the exact same products. Yeah, nothing more, nothing less, the exact same. It's now twice the price.
Which means there have been somehow inflation. The hard ruble is affecting the average Russians, which is not good. And I don't know how it is reflected to businesses, but generally it is really affecting the average Russian.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. You know, we've had to cut back on our spending. We've had to take a serious look at our finances and make, you know, some grown-up adulting decisions.
So there's another thing which has changed a lot here in Russia, especially for creators. Certain banks, like I used to have, I do have an account in Tinkoff. They have just imposed a certain rule. It's not a law. If you need a transaction through Tinkoff, I think most banks would pick on that already. They have the right to take $200 as commission of you collecting your cash. Which means if you send somebody in Russia $1,000, he's going to have just 800, and 200 goes to the bank, which I think is crazy. Have you heard about that?
I did, actually. I did. And I I was absolutely shocked that it's coming from Tinkoff Bank, because here in Russia, Tinkoff Bank is kind of like almost like
Western bank,
this idea of like freedom, like choice, right? They shook up a lot of the banking industry here in Russia with their no branch banking, right? So it's all ATMs and online.
Retail banking,
yeah, it's all gone digital. Yeah, actually, it's a good thing that you brought that up, because my next tip actually wanted to be about, well, I've got money, I have a job, where do I put it, right? So you have your choice of like maybe Alpha Bank or Sberbank or Tinkoff. I personally believe one of the best banks that you could probably think about is either Raiffeisen or even this smaller bank called Russell House Bank. And I say that because they will most likely not be sanctioned by Western finance worlds. But Sberbank and Alpha Bank have both been sanctioned, and guess what bank accounts I currently have? Sberbank and Alpha Bank. So I'm kind of like screwed in a way. But yeah, the other thing is consider crypto as a possible option for doing transfers. It might save you actually more than once.
Yeah, I'm trying to go on crypto. Have no clue about it, but hope Steph is going to help me out in future. And yeah, we'll see about that. The other thing that has changed a lot in Russia is the nightlife. Maybe you know, most of you understand, the Western audience, that Moscow used to have one of the best nightlife, but since after COVID and now you had this operation, so most of the guys who want to relax in Moscow, especially I'm talking about the big city Moscow, they do it just outdoors in parks. Yeah, have you realized that the night is pretty much boring in Moscow these days?
You know, I'm married, so I have a pretty much boring life anyway. But you know, I did meet my wife in a nightclub, and you know, I have visited several nightclubs after COVID, and yeah, the population is less. There's not that many people going out, and it's really kind of weird for me, because after COVID I would have expected that a lot of, especially Russians, because Russians, like a lot of Americans, are just like, I want my freedom back, just give me the freedom to come back. But maybe it's the sanctions that are also affecting their decision.
Yeah,
right?
That's true. I totally agree with that. So guys, there's something which has changed. I'm not sure if you've known about this, but in Russia today, it's not advisable to talk a lot about politics.
Well, yeah, I think it's a polarizing topic anyway. People just want to live their lives, and you know, if you're coming to Russia, living here, working here, just do the same. You know, I mean, I think once you find your group where you can, you know, if you want to talk about those things, feel free, but I wouldn't bring it up in conversation with maybe people you've just met.
Yes, just give you guys things for value here, and I want to talk to an American about Americans in Russia. Do you feel safe?
Do I feel safe? What does that mean? No, I feel totally safe. Like, I feel, and I, even to this day, I feel more safe walking around in Moscow by myself than I do anywhere in New York City. Hands down. I don't care if I'm in the middle of Times Square or if I'm down on Wall Street. You know, I feel, and even more than that, I feel that it's even safe for my wife to walk around, right? You know, if my wife's out with friends, I'm not that concerned. Of course, I'm always concerned, but you know, I don't have that same worry that I might have if we lived in New York City or in Brooklyn.
Really?
You know, I would prefer if, you know, my wife kept in touch with me and said, yeah, I'm on my way. You know, but here it's okay. I don't hear from her for 3-4 hours. Everything's fine.
Yeah, I agree, because this safety is something which many Americans have asked here, and I keep talking about Americans, foreigners hoping to travel to Russia have asked, but I think safety is something that in Moscow, I mean, you can take that to them. Yeah. That
surprised me a lot, you know, because what you see can be quite shocking, because, you know, it might be common that you see guys, military or police, standing outside of a metro, and they've got, you know, kind of like a Kalashnikov strapped across their chest, you know? I've been stopped 2 or 3 times in my life, I think 3 times, asking for my papers. And that's something that isn't really normal in America, you know, just a police officer coming up to you, asking you for your identification. We have this thing called freedom. You know, here in Russia, you do have a lot of freedoms. But if a police officer comes up to you asking you for your papers, it's always a good idea to have your passport, your migration card, your registration, always on hand. You know, but 10 years here, I've been stopped 3 times. So, and they're very, very nice. That's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah, so I want to add something about the papers here. When you come to Russia and you have your passport, I would advise you not to take them and walk with you, because if you misplace it, you're fucked. So what you should do, you just do a copy and you can like register it at the notary if you want. Yeah, so you walk with a copy, but believe me, the time you take that decision to hold your documents, you won't be stopped. Because I've never been stopped. I've never been stopped for the past 10 years. As an African, I've never been stopped, and I really sometimes
I'm actually surprised.
Yeah, sometimes I really want to be stopped by a police, so it's tough. But you know when I've been stopped? I've been stopped by the traffic police. Not because I did something wrong.
Okay.
Like traffic is because they want to communicate. They want to talk. They want to speak to me in English.
Really?
Yeah. They were like,
is that?
Oh.
Do people normally think because you're black that you speak English?
Yes. The thing is that I told even my viewers, some of them they think I'm an American, and I hate to be called an American because not that I hate America, because not that I hate America, but it's just because I am an African. Why should you go? Why do you think I have to be an American? You know? So yeah. So
I've been Trevor Noah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Trevor. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, he's a mixed, but
he's a nice guy.
I'm the brownest. I'm not a black guy. I'm the brownest African around.
That's awesome. A little humor here. That's what we do here.
Yeah. You should always get your documents, like a copy, and walk with it.
That's true.
If you have it, that's helpful, because getting up documents, he's trying to get his visa now back to the US, and it's quite a daunting job to get one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, if you guys got names like junior, senior, the second, things can be a little complicated. So maybe if you do, maybe you can double check it and see if you really want to come here. I haven't really had many problems, and I don't think you should either. So if you're looking for an adventure, Russia's waiting for you.
So guys, hope you did like the video. If you learned something from Steph and I, or you do have a question, drop it below. We'll be ready to answer your questions. And guys, I don't know what to say, but we are still alive. That's more important.
Yeah, we just really hope that this video and all the videos that Ralph puts out are bringing you guys value. And if you guys have any questions, please just put them down in the comments below. If you like the video, let us know. You know the deal. So we really enjoy having you guys around. I hope you guys enjoyed the information we've given, and until next time. Inside, that juicy inside, you know, they will be very committed to you.